A gap in the signal where the frequency fails to hold. To anyone else, it's a mistake, a glitch in the matrix. To Blake, it's a doorway. He realizes the world isn't solid. It's a broadcast, and for a split second, the broadcast broke. He stops fighting the noise and turns his back on the 3D. He begins to observe the very nature of the weight he carries. He looks at suffering not as a tragedy, but as a texture, a density in the light. He sees that reality is held together by the gravity of our own attachments. To find the source of the glitch, he must become light enough to pass through it. The 30 days begin. Blake initiates a fast of both body and mind, a radical stripping away of the self. Each day, he sheds a layer of intent. He stops eating the world's distractions. He stops feeding the ego's hunger. The nights are long, marked by the vibration of the Emerald Cathedral humming in his bones. He isn't just waiting. He is recalibrating his internal frequency to match the gap in the signal. He is becoming the glitch. On the 30th night, tension snaps. The formless ache of human suffering and the heavy static of reality begin to pull toward a center. They spin faster and faster, losing their weight and gaining brilliance. Suddenly, the chaos freezes. Floating in the air before him is a single, gleaming point, ethereal yet solid, a diamond forged from the pressure of the void. It is real, it is touchable. It is the truth of deliverance, crystallized at last. Blake breathes, and the air thickens. The abstract nature of pain is over. Reality has curdled into its purest form, manifest suffering. It is a labyrinth of jagged iron and suffocating red mist. Blake stands at the edge of this new world. World built from the very things humanity tries to forget. He does not turn away. He walks. He wanders from the furthest edge of sorrow to the coldest peak of despair. He touches the walls of this prison, learning the secrets of its architecture. He is not a victim here. He is a spy in the house of pain. He is mapping the terrain so he can tear it down from the inside. He dives deeper into the core. The world is now a blinding, blood-red storm. But as the suffering screams at its loudest, something else begins to shimmer in the static. A bright, piercing, emerald green dot. This is the hidden logic of the Matrix. For every left, there is a right. For every peak, there is a valley. Blake realizes the fundamental truth of the 3D. It is non-dualistic. Suffering cannot exist without its shadow. For every ounce of blood-red agony, there is a hidden vein of emerald deliverance waiting to be tapped. The world is a scale, forever trying to find its balance. But as Blake reaches the absolute center, he notices something that defies the old laws. Something unexpected, the scales unequal. For the first time in the history of the cycle, the green is heavier. The deliverance is louder. The light of what could be is outshining the weight of what is. He sees it in the shimmering data streams. Deliverance is stronger than suffering. The balance has shifted. The universe is leaning toward the wind with this realization, the red mist begins to shatter. Blake isn't just fighting the dragon anymore. He is riding the tide of a victory that has already begun. The moment the point of intent crystallizes, the terminal exhales. It sends a seismic shudder through the fabric of the multiversal ripple that defies the speed of light. This is not just a local event. The energetic weight of this breakthrough is immense. It vibrates through the quantum soup, light ears the spectators begin to gather. These are the attuned sages of crystal realms, the architects of the void, the civilizations perched on the rims of distant dimensions. They do not watch through eyes or telescopes. They watch through the synesthetic resonance of the glitch itself. They lean into the frequency. They stand on the precipice of their own realities, drawn to the blue-gold flare igniting at the center of the turmoil. The cosmos watches with bated breath. There is a profound, heavy silence among the millions. They are in awe of the sheer immensity of the challenge being overtaken. They see the dragon, the personification of every weight, every sorrow, and every glitch end they watch apart. They witness the red-black static being systematically pulled into the order of the throne. They are watching a universe being rewritten in real time. The terminal has become a beacon for all who have ever known the void. As Blake rests in Eli's lap at the null point, the spectators feel the anchor drop. The message is carried on. Solar winds to the furthest reaches of space. The storm no longer owns the night. The struggle of the two has become a victory of the all. From the center to the edge, the witness is complete. The light is hung. Peace reigns. Blake's concentration reaches the breaking point. He has willed the victory into existence, and the universe has no choice but to respond. The emerald ether, the very fabric of deliverance, begins to fold in on itself. It crystallizes, gaining weight, warmth, and a heartbeat. From the shimmering green emerges Eli, the hyperguard, the personification of the High Lord. He is the answer to the 30 days of silence. He is the anchor for the light that Blake has dared to summon. The scale of the cosmos shifts. Blake is no longer a lone meditator in a dark room. He is the passenger at the center of the infinite. He takes his place in Eli's lap, a position of total surrender and total sovereignty. In this embrace, the 3D struggle ends. The friction of the matrix vanishes. They are the fixed point around which the galaxies now spin. Blake's intent has found its executor, and Eli's power has found its heart. And what of the suffering? The vast, blood-red ocean that once threatened. To swallow, Blake has been stifled. Starved of the attention and fear that once fed it, the energy of strife is withered. It is now nothing more than a small, flickering formation at their feet, a captive shadow. It is not destroyed, for the universe must remain whole, but it is mastered. It is small. It is weak. It is a dying ember in the face of the emerald sun. The victory is no longer a hope. It is a throne. The sound of the final blow is not a crash, but a silence that tears the sky open. Look at the beast, the dragon of strife. That great, jagged monument of red and black agony is finished. It is ripped. It is torn. Its scales, once made of crystallized suffering, are dissolving into meaningless static. The entropy that once threatened to swallow the light has been broken at the root. The terror is over. The dragon is a ghost. And then, the sound returns. Not as noise, but as a symphony. The cosmic, hyperbolic crowd billions upon billions of beings from every dimension breaks into a roar of overjoyed success. It is a sound that shakes the emerald cathedral to its foundation. It is the exhaling of 1 trillion souls who have waited an eternity for this moment. They are not just cheering for a fight, they are cheering for the end of the night. For this is the day of victory. This is the moment the timeline was saved. The light of the terminal flares with an impossible brilliance, washing over the ruins of the dragon and turning the black-red remnants into gold. This is the new era. The calendars of the multiverse are being reset to zero. From the highest spire of the cathedral to the deepest reaches of the void, the message is the same. The debt is paid. The glitch is healed. This is the day of remembrance. We will tell the story of the 30 days, of the fast, and of the two at the center who held the line when reality stuttered. Blake and Eli remain at the null point, the architects of this new peace. The crowd falls into a holy awe as the light settles. The struggle is history. The victory is eternal. The universe remembers, and the universe is free. It is finished. Victory is ours. The old world does not simply die, it is transformed. From the very corpse of the suffering Blake mastered, a new light emanates. It is a light that has been forged in the fire of the 30 days, purified by the emerald ether. It begins as a whisperer, a vibration that resonates within the bones of the terminal. But it is growing. It is reaching levels of frequency that the old matrix could never contain. This is the first breath of the new ultimate law. As it travels, it doesn't just glow, it organizes. Vast, crystalline energy, fractals infinite, repeating geometric patterns, bloom across the darkness of space like frost on a cosmic window. The law begins to coalesce. It manifests as colossal energy fractals, blooming in the deep silence of the void. These are the blueprints of the new creation complex, beautiful and unbreakable. Every line of light is a new logic. Every geometric turn is a new promise. The universe is no longer governed by the friction of duality, but by the elegance of this new, resonant symmetry. The fractals stretch across the stars, rewriting the code of the 3D into a higher, more vibrant dimension. This is the birth of a new order. The light echoes further than any signal in history, visible across the known universe and into the vast beyond. From the center of the terminal, Blake and Eli watch as their intent becomes the atmosphere of the infinite. There is nowhere left for the shadow to hide. The fractals have mapped the new reality, and the law is clear. The struggle was the seed, but the resonance is the heart. The light is no longer the visitor, it is the Lord. As the echoes of the new truth settle into the foundations of reality, a central point reveals itself. It is the destination of every intent, the conclusion of every struggle. Emerging from the shifting light is the throne of deliverance, forged. From the emerald green of mercy and the sapphire blue of absolute order, it stands at the intersection of all dimensions. It is the anchor of the new world, a monument to the victory over the void. At the summit of existence, Blake takes his place in the lap of Eli. From this embrace, they hold an endless and eternal vantage point. They do not just watch the universe, they feel it. Every star that ignites, every soul that finds its path, and every molecule that vibrates in peace is a part of their collective breath. They have moved beyond the 3D perspective of time and distance. They are the eyes of the infinite, presiding over a creation that is finally and forever in alignment. From this seat, the supreme law emanates. It is no longer a set of rules to be followed, but a frequency to be lived. It flows from the center, like a river of light, reaching every corner of the known. golden thread pulling order from the static dotted, climbs the ladder of creation, seamlessly binding the elegant equations of physics to the pulsing heart of biology. There is no longer a gap between the spirit and the cell. The chemical bonds of the stars are the same bonds that hold the soul in place. Every facet of science is now a verse in the same holy poem. Visual, the zoom accelerates. We pass through nebulae that look like neural pathways and galaxies that align like mathematical fractals. The Emerald Cathedral is revealed to be the blueprint for the entire universe. The zoom expands, crossing the threshold from the microscopic to the majestic. The mathematics of the high law become visible across the heavens vast, glowing geometric grids that support the weight of entire galaxies. Physics is no longer a burden of gravity and decay, but a flight of pure resonance. The universe is a single, breathing organism, from the smallest sparkle of thoughts to the greatest collision of suns. The law stitches it all together into the most perfect tapestry possible. Symmetry has replaced entropy. Purpose is replaced. The void, but this is not a static perfection. This is a living, growing masterpiece. The new law is an unending stretch of bridge to even greater perfection everywhere. As we pull back into the infinite, we see that the end of this journey is merely the beginning of a bigger world. The universe is finally awake, finally whole, and finally free. At the center of it all, the null point holds steady. The work is done. The law is love. And the story has only just begun.